Hi, welcome to Sunder Sisterhood. This is a YouTube channel for the single and childless woman. Today, I'm going to be talking about acceptance and being childless not by choice. Acceptance is something that happens over time. Sometimes we even go in and out of acceptance. It's not a linear path up, is essentially what I'm trying to say. First thing I want to do is really start off and talk about what acceptance isn't. Again, I think many of us sometimes feel like if we get to a place of acceptance, it means that we didn't really want children or almost can feel like a bit of a betrayal in terms of our previous feelings. And no, that's not what acceptance is. Acceptance is really recognizing that this is the reality of our situation and how can we move forward. But before I get to more of what acceptance is, I'm going to go back again and talk about what acceptance is not. Acceptance is not getting over being childless. It isn't saying, well, yep, that doesn't bother me anymore. It's no big deal. It is not about minimizing the painful and excruciating experience that is being childless, not by choice. Acceptance is also not forfeiting your right to be sad or angry ever again. It isn't a situation where if you're with a group of friends and you're talking about how you feel sad about your childlessness, it doesn't mean that you're no longer in a place where you accept. What it means is that you're expressing your feelings. Acceptance does not mean that you no longer get to have feelings about your loss and your grief. That segues into my next thing that acceptance is not. Acceptance is not never talking about it again. It doesn't mean that you stuff it in a box and it's wrapped up in this nice little bow and you've integrated into your sense of self and then poof, it's never going to come out. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Again, acceptance is not never feeling grief again either. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be times of hurt and pain or feeling triggered. What it means is that you can do all of those things and not get stuck in it. It means that you can experience life despite the fact that this thing that you wanted did not happen for you. So, what acceptance is not, it is not getting over it. It is not forfeiting your right to be sad or angry about it. It is not never talking about it again. And it is not never feeling or experiencing grief around childlessness again. What is acceptance then, right? So, acceptance is being kind and compassionate with yourself when you feel these hard feelings. It's acknowledging your feelings. It's telling yourself it's okay to have these feelings. And the goal would be that you don't get stuck in those feelings to the point where you can't take care of yourself, go to work, interact with others, things like that. Many of us who have experienced and been through a grief related to childless, not by choice, really hit a space where it was very difficult to do those things. Again, acceptance is about being kind and compassionate with yourself when you do feel those feelings. Acceptance is also giving yourself permission to imagine your life without kids. I found this one particularly difficult. I felt like if I did that, then I was giving up, that I was betraying almost my feelings around that. Also, that if I started to imagine a life without kids, then it meant I didn't want them anymore. Working through with my own therapist kind of really helped me understand that it doesn't mean those things. Again, give yourself permission to start to imagine life without kids when you're ready. Acceptance is about designing a different future for yourself, even if it's little baby steps at a time, right? I think we are socially conditioned to have an image and an understanding of what womanhood is and what our future is, right? And so give yourself permission to redesign what that looks like for you. It's also okay if you include things in there that might seem frivolous or unattainable for somebody with kids. Maybe you want to live 6 months out of the year in one part of the country and 6 months out of the year in another part of the country. That's not frivolous. You get to do that because of the way that your life is set up. So, to recap, what is acceptance then? Acceptance is being kind and compassionate with yourself when you feel those hard feelings. You are allowed to still feel them during your phase of during acceptance. Giving yourself permission to imagine your life without kids, and also designing a different future for yourself than what you expected, even if it's little steps at a time. And you don't have to justify that life to anybody else. So I hope this was helpful. Again, consider reaching out with community as well. Being around others who are experiencing the same thing can also be helpful, which again is our mission related to Saunders Sisterhood. We have this YouTube channel, and then we also have an Instagram account at saunderssisterhood.com where we talk about different events that we're putting on to spruce up the social calendar for the single childless woman.